Wait, hold on. That's the wrong music. What's going on here? I was just informed by YouTube that I don't have the rights to actually play the Star Wars music. So I guess we're just not gonna do a cool intro. Now what? Here, try imagining this. You're a spectator attending a magic show. The magician walks up to you and fans out a deck of playing cards. He asks you to select just one card by touching its back. As soon as you select that card, the magician shows you exactly which card you selected. He pushes it back in the deck, hands the deck over to you, and instructs you to shuffle it as much as you'd possibly like. When you're done shuffling, you hand the deck back over to the magician. He takes it, gives it one final cut, and places it in his jacket pocket. He then instructs you to name any number between 1 and 52. Let's just say you name the number 12. He takes out 11 cards from his pocket, one at a time. He confirms with you again if you want to change your number or are you happy with the number 12. You said you're good because no one ever actually changes their number. So the magician pulls out the 12th card, the card that you shuffled and lost into the deck, to reveal that it's your selected card. Okay, so the trick you just imagined, hopefully you imagined it, is only one possible outcome of using this method. In actuality, what this method gives you is the ability to know exactly where the spectator's card is at all times and instantly take it out of the deck. Can you guess how it's done? It is the easiest thing ever, but instead of describing it to you, I'll do you one better. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. If this sounds like a trick you'd love to perform, subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, like. For those of you who hate this trick already, well, why are you still here? Get out of here, man. Go home, punk. I'm just kidding, but I really do hope you enjoy this trick, and without any further ado, let's do it. Alright guys, so check this out. We'll start off by having the spectator touch the back of any one of these cards. Let's say this one right here. Take a look and remember it. Once you got that card memorized, we'll put it back into the deck. I'll hand the deck over to the spectator, and they're allowed to shuffle the deck as much as they'd like. Give it a couple overhand shuffles like this. And we'll even give it a quick Pharaoh. Feed these cards Pharaoh. There we go. A quick Pharaoh along with a riffle shuffle just like that. All right. Once the spectator is satisfied with their shuffling, we can take the deck and I'll take it, put it in my pocket just like this. Now I'll ask the spectator to select any number between 1 and 52. Let's just say they select the number 9 to make our life a little easier. When I take cards from the top of the deck, count to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if we take a look at the 9th card, hopefully it's the card that you selected. It is the Ace of Spades. Alright, so welcome to the tutorial. If you haven't figured out the trick by now, you're about to. By the way, just check out this tuck case. I mean, like, this looks quite nice. Very minimal. I even love that, like, this is holographic right here, the Chris Ramsey logo. It's so awesome. I love this tuck case. But anyway, starting off this trick, what you need is a deck of playing cards. Doesn't matter how many, as long as it's more than, I guess, one. So you start off this trick by either giving the deck a shuffle or giving it a couple of cuts. I either do one or the other. And then I spread the cards right in front of a spectator and ask them to just touch the back of any one of these playing cards. So let's just say they touch the back of this one. I take it out like this and show it to the spectator. In our case, it is the Jack of Diamonds. Now, you ready? This is the easiest part right here. As you're showing this card to the spectator, your thumb in the back right here is just going to bend this corner a little bit. So I just bend it upwards just a little bit like that. So now you have a kind of a crimped card in the deck. So now when you come ahead and close it, we'll go ahead and close it. You'll see right back here, obviously, where the spectator selected card is, okay? And what I actually like is you can even like squeeze down on the deck a couple of times. That break will still be there. And you can hand it over to the spectator. The spectator can now actually shuffle as much as they like, whether it be an overhand shuffle, whether it be a riffle shuffle, whatever it is, they can really go wild while shuffling. And we got very lucky. Our card ended up back on top. But let's just say it ended up somewhere in the center. All you have to do when you take the deck back from the spectator is give the deck one final cut. And usually the deck will be, usually the card will be controlled back to the top, or if you really grab it all the way on the edge, then the chances are the card will be controlled to the bottom. So you'll know immediately when you get the deck back and give the deck a cut, whether it's controlled to the top or bottom. but again, for me, it's usually on top. So now that you've got this crimped card here, you do want to straighten out this crimp, so I usually do it when I put the deck back in my pocket. So as soon as the deck goes in my pocket, I move this card back a little bit, press down here, and the crimp is pretty much gone. No one can even tell it was ever there. And what happens next, I ask the spectator to name any number between 1 and 52. Let's just say they name the number 5. Right, so I go into my pocket, I just pull out 1, I just pull out from the bottom. I say to the spectator, I'm pulling out from the top, pull out from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we said 5, right? And then we pull out the top card. There it is, the spectator selected card. It's that freaking simple. One more idea that I want to add to this, and it works well added to this card trick, or if you're using it by itself, you know, as soon as I describe it to you, it works well in that case as well. So, same deal. Have a card selected as spectator is looking, crimp the card in the back right there. And again, it has to be just a small one, works perfectly fine. You square all that up, the spectator shuffles it as much as they'd like, okay? So usually when the spectator is done shuffling, the card will be somewhere near the center, right? So in this case, it's around here. So I tell the spectator to give the deck one final cut, okay? And if the deck is on the table, they're going to give the deck a natural cut without actually aiming towards where they want to cut to. If they just naturally pick it up, you'll see that they'll come directly to this card. It doesn't work 100% of the time. I would say it works 75% of the time, so it's not 100% accurate, but the times that it does work, when you ask the spectator, when you tell the spectator to give the deck one final cut, and then they cut to their card, and then you ask them what their card is, you reveal it. I think this just adds so much more because the card was selected at random, lost in the deck, the spectator shuffled, the spectator gave it one final cut, and then snap, you know, they name the card, whatever it is, and it jumps right back up to the top. So it's a very, very nice effect, especially because everything at that point is out of your hands, and it will blow the spectators' freaking minds. That's all we got, folks. Hope you enjoyed this effect. Do let me know down in the description what other ideas you'd love to use this method for. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And now, if you really want to support the channel, make sure to go ahead and check out my Patreon for some more content and to potentially help me do this YouTube thing full time. Okay, everybody, have a great day ahead, and I'll see you really soon.